That's it?
That's it.
I got it.
And now a word for
Ron and Fez.
Ron and Fez! Hey! I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell.
Buddy,
It's the Ron and Fez show, starring the fastest hour in radio. Fez, let's light this thing up tonight. What do you say?
you got it, partner.
What do you say? Tonight is a night that you get into it.
Oh, I'll get into it, all right.
Good.
I'm ready.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
A new Washington Post ABC News poll shows that President Bush has lost his lead over John Kerry over who's best able to deal with terrorism.
Now, has John Kerry done some kind of die-hard act that anybody's caught on to? Is John Kerry walking around with a flak jacket saying, please give me the opportunity here? Here's what John Kerry's running on. And you would think this is the worst possible strategy, and yet it seems to be working. He's basically staying low and letting people look at his opponent. It's the exact opposite of any kind of marketing that you would do, like for a product. You would never say, hey, let Coca-Cola stay out there, and believe me, it'll drive people to us.
I saw a headline today where Kerry running on Clinton's record. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, I guess so, because he's not going to run on his own at all.
Well, I mean, it's not even a matter that he's running on Clinton's record. I don't agree with that at all. He's basically saying a vote for me is a vote against Bush, and leaving it at that, not really coming out and saying too much. And here he hasn't said one thing that he would do against terrorism, and his numbers are going up because people aren't trusting the other guy. It's a weird strategy, but it's working.
Maybe they think the giant head will scare the terrorists away.
They're not thinking of him. This is what I want to get through to you, Fez. He's just a no vote. No one's thinking, okay, Kerry, what do I think of? No, they're saying, hey, that other guy that's running, that's not Bush. That's not Bush. That's all he's got for himself right now. It's unbelievably pure, and for whatever reason, it seems to be working.
He's got one of those things where his face looks like a W with one of those Ghostbuster slashes across it, one of those circles.
Fez, more weird news out of Iraq today. An Iraqi militant group has beheaded a South Korean man it was holding hostage. June 30th going to change anything, Fez, or more of the same?
I think it's going to be more of the same, if not even worse. Where it's, the President Bush wonders why the numbers on terror are dropping. Every other day he has to go on TV and condemn another beheading that's gone on.
Here is like a really awful radio psychic I'm going to give.
Radio psychic.
I've already noticed that with like each beheading, the shock has worn off when you're watching television. It's worn off the media, and it's worn off like our friends. People aren't bringing it up. So they will move on and come up with another new weird way of killing people to get that on the news. Because I think the only reason why they got into the beheadings is because it was getting national news time.
So this is now 3, probably, I guess, within a month. If you go back to Nick Berg and then Paul Johnson, and now this South Korean.
But look, here's the interesting thing. Look how you can say their names. You remember their names. Where so many other people get killed in Iraq, and you don't have that recall because they put something spectacular to it, something really weird to kind of put the fear in us. People are paying attention.
The United States plans to turn over legal but not physical custody of Saddam Hussein to the new Iraqi government. That's as soon as it takes over on June 30th.
This is the weirdest deal. So it's almost like a rent-to-own thing. Like, you have them, but we're going to keep them here.
I don't even know how that works.
It's the way that your dad got you a car when you were 16. Yes, it's your car, but it's in my name, so I'll tell you when you can take it out.
We are so nervous that if Iraq's new government gets a hold of Saddam Hussein, that he is going to be put right back in the presidential palace. and back into power. We are going to hold on to that as long as we can.
Could you imagine if that was the latest mess up, that we said, yes, they're taking over Saddam Hussein, and you just see him on the Al Jazeera network the following day, just talking with people, doing interviews?
Oh, sure, he's all clean-shaven. They've dyed the hair. He's back in uniform. He's lost some lbs.
Yeah, he looks fantastic, I'm sure. He just looks great.
You know, and they're talking about June 30th, this interim government. They're thinking of just declaring martial law, outlawing any sort of demonstration, just really cracking down starting June 30th.
Who's going to run this? Who's going to run the crackdown?
Oh, this new Keystone Cop Iraqi police.
I mean, if they have martial law, then it's going to be us in charge of the martial law, unless we have to worry about this brand new government shooting into crowds. And that's not going to play well across the world.
It just looks so ugly coming up June 30th, any way you can imagine it. And with martial law and no demonstrations and everything like that, it sounds like Saddam is back in power.
Freedom. That's freedom, Fez. That's the freedom we've given the Iraqi people. You're free, except for if you get together and don't like what's going on. Then you'll be shot.
It makes me wonder how long this Iraqi government, this new one, has to be in power before the president feels they're trustworthy enough to hand over Saddam.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the president, congratulations. Now, we have the winner of the how many different ways you can use the word torture in a sentence competition.
I didn't know we were doing that competition.
Yeah, we were having that contest, and congratulations to a George W. out of Washington, D.C. Here's the winning entry.
We do not condone torture. I have never ordered torture. I will never order torture. The values of this country are such that torture is not a part of our soul.
All right, I didn't know there was that many different ways to use the word.
It's almost like he has Tourette's. He knows it's a stupid word, and yet he keeps throwing it up there.
Now, we're at this point, though, in the administration where these are the things he's having to say to the press. This is what he's having to defend himself against dog leashes and butt pyramids.
Well, it's not like the press made it up. That's the odd thing about it. All right, Fidel Castro again warned President Bush about launching an attack on Cuba. He says it will be an all-out war if you try it. Fez, have we been planning an attack on Cuba?
All right, not that I remember. I wonder if Fidel's talking about the first President Bush. I just wonder if he's getting a little old. I think, actually, somebody's a little jealous. There's some other dictators in the world that are getting some more attention, and he's trying to get back in the game here.
Well, you would think if we hated dictators who torture people, we would start with the one that's 90 miles away from Key West before we went on the other side of the world. The problem with those people is they have some beautiful beaches, great culture, no oil. So they hold no interest for us.
Suntan oil, that is about it. That's about what you can get in Cuba.
They haven't had suntan oil, Fezzi, since 1959. It's been that long. They're pretty salt-dried down there.
It's amazing that the old man's still feeling froggy after all these years.
This is the way he would love to go out. He wants a Viking funeral for himself. The last thing he wants is for people just to forget about him and say it failed. He wants to say, we had to kill him to take it back.
Mary-Kate Olsen has entered a treatment center for a health-related issue. Now, reports are that it's for an eating disorder, that it's for anorexia.
So Fatty is finally doing something about her looks. That's good, because I thought she was getting too heavy.
So they have finally arrived in Hollywood celebrity.
Well, why isn't the other one? If they're twins, why isn't the other? Why is the other one eating?
I wonder with this if Mary-Kate is looking at Ashley and thinking she looks great.
Yeah.
You know, and thinking, oh, I wish I could be that thin and I have to get thinner. If her self-perception is that far off that her twin either looks fat or thin to her.
How is this a disease? How is this a problem? All you got to do is eat something. I never understand it. Imagine, like, if you had, like, you have leukemia, you better have some starches. It would not be a real problem for you. You're thinking, great, all I got to do is have pizza and some sandwiches and I'm out of this disease? Great.
Well, being a real hypochondriac, I'm just glad there's a disease that I know I can't catch.
Yeah.
There's one out there that I know that and sickle cell, and I know I can't get those two diseases.
Yeah. I think this is what happens. Every time that the Olsen twins look into a mirror, they see these two little freakish girls who every year look a little bit more like they should be in the zoo. I don't know what's happened with them. They both look like spider monkeys to me.
Well, now, though, the one who's so bony anyway, I really don't notice that big of a difference between Mary-Kate and Ashley. I know they're twins, but weight-wise, it seems like Ashley should be going in as well.
All right, Fezzi, Kobe's lawyers want to talk to the jurors to see how they feel about interracial dating on their questionnaires. They want to check with them right away. How do you feel about interracial dating? So was they trying to say Kobe was dating this girl?
I think they're trying to set up that consensual thing where it's like, all right, this is a date. This was a date.
It was a love that only lasted minutes.
Sure, things, she wanted to break up with him immediately afterwards, I guess. But they're just trying to get into the jurors' heads that this was consensual, that these two were dating.
Yeah. Well, it's not Boo Radley time. It's not 1954, and we're not down south. I don't think you're going to have a lot of people completely freaked out and saying to Scout, what's your father doing defending this person? All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's the fastest hour in radio. Ron and Fez.